still drafting blogs manually, then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to generate blog posts using AI agent from Google Sheets to Google Docs. So over here I'm a content creator and I regularly generate and draft my blogs. But to draft the blogs manually is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to do this, I've simply created this automation to solve my problem, where what will happen is that as soon as I'm just going to add the topic of my blog into my Google Sheets, automatically my AI agent, which is OpenAI, is going to generate the blogs. Further, I'm just going to add the blog content into the Google Docs and then towards my Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets and my AI agent, which is OpenAI, then Google Docs, and then once again Google Sheets. So to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, I'm simply going to use an amazing automation software which is Pabbly Connect. So do you also want to see the proper working of this automation and create this automation for your business? Then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So today I'll guide you on how to generate blog posts using an AI agent from Google Sheets to Google Docs. An automation that will transform the way you create your content. So if you are tired of manually drafting the blogs, this AI-driven workflow will help you to produce well-structured articles effortlessly. It is perfect for marketers, bloggers, and businesses looking to scale their content creation. So let's get started with a really simple example. Let's say that I'm just going to enter the title and the target audience of my blog right over here. So as you can see that I've entered the title and I'm just going to enter the target audience too. And yes, you can see that I've successfully entered the blog title and the target audience. So now we're going to wait for a few seconds till our blog is getting generated, and then we're going to get the generated blog link right over here in my spreadsheet only. And yes, you can see that we have successfully received this generated blog link. So I'm just going to open this link right from here, and yes, you can see the same title and also you can see the blog which is generated. So yes, you can see that within seconds in real time the blog has been generated. It has been added into my Google document, and also you can see that the generated blog link has been added right over here into my Google Sheets too. So yes, this is the automation we are going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this automation for your business or for yourself, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we're going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm just going to click on this sign in. And as soon as we're going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. And over here, you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications, which is Google Sheets, Google Docs, and our AI agent. So I'm just going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account. And as soon as we're going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to generate blog posts using AI agent from Google Sheets to Google Docs. And then we simply have to click on this button given right over here which says create. And as soon as we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. So trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow will run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started with our automation, I'm just going to select my trigger application as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going going to select it. And now it is asking me for the trigger event. So for the trigger event, we are simply going to select it as this new or updated spreadsheet rows. And now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So with here, I'm just going to copy this webhook URL and then we have to follow this help text. Alright, so I'm just going to open my Google Sheets account right from here. And now from here, we have to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then get add-ons. And now over here, after coming towards the get add-ons, we're going to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks. So I'm just going to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to open it. And yes, over here you can see that this is the extension, so I'm just going to open it, and as you can see that I've already installed this extension. That's why it is giving me the option of uninstall. But if you haven't installed this extension, you're going to get the option of install right from here, and you're going to install the extension right from here only. And now after installing the extension, you simply have to refresh this spreadsheet. Alright, and after refreshing the spreadsheet, we have to go towards this extensions once again, and you're going to see that Pabbly Connect webhooks extension will appear right over here automatically. Alright, so now from here we have to go towards this initial setup, and now after coming over here towards this initial setup, it is going to ask me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. So over here what we are going to do is we are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow in the webhook URL field. And now for the trigger column, it is saying the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is entered, the whole of that row will be sent to the webhook URL. So over here what I want is that as soon as I enter the title and the target audience, the data should be sent to my workflow so that I can generate the blog using my AI agent. So over here I'm just going to keep my trigger column as B, and then we are simply going to click on this submit. And yes, you can see setup configured successfully. So yes, with this we have successfully configured this setup, and we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to open my Google Sheets once again. We're going to go towards the extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, and as you can see the button of send on event. So we simply have to switch on this button right from here, which is send on event. And as soon as we're going to switch on this button, what will happen is that as soon as a new event will occur in my Google Sheets, automatically the data would be sent to my workflow. So yes, you can see that I've successfully switched on this button, and now I can enter the data. So let's say for the title I want it to be this: the power of automation, streamline your business operations. And now for the target audience, I want it to be small business owners, operation managers, and consultants. So as you can see that I've successfully entered the title and the target audience, and now I'm just going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response for this or not. So I'm just going to open my workflow right from here, and yes, over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response. You can see the title which we entered, and also you can see the target audience which we entered. You can see the spreadsheet name, the trigger column, and the rest of the details too. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now what will happen is that as soon as we add the details right over here into my Google Sheets, automatically the details would be captured right over here in my workflow too. Alright, so we're going to move on forward. Now what I want is, I want to generate blog posts using AI agent. So for that, I'm just going to select my AI agent right over here in my action step. So over here, I'm just going to select it as OpenAI. So I'm just going to use OpenAI as my AI agent today. You can use any another AI tool like Gemini and more. Alright, so I'm just going to search for OpenAI, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And over here you can see it is saying OpenAI uses API keys for authentication. kindly visit your OpenAI API keys page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So you can see there's a hyperlink. So I'm directly going to click on this hyperlink to get redirected to my OpenAI API keys page. And as you can see that this is my API keys page of my OpenAI account. So now what we're going to do is I'm simply going to click on this green button which says generate new secret key. And now it is asking me for the name of my secret key. So let's say that I'm just going to name it as AI agent right over here. And after entering this, we have to select the project and click on this create secret key button. And yes, you can see that I've successfully created a new secret key. So I'm just going to copy this key and click on this done and paste that token right over here in our workflow. And yes, you can see that I've successfully pasted this API key, and now we are simply going to click on this save. And as soon as we're going to click on this save button right over here, yes, you can see that with this we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So I'm just going to select it as GPT-4 only. You can select any one of your choice. We're going to move on forward. It is asking me for the prompt. Alright, so I'm just going to enter my prompt right over here. As you can see that I've successfully entered the prompt, which is write a well-structured blog post based on the details below. Avoid using AI related terms. Keep the language simple and engaging. Alright, you can see that over here I'm just going to simply map the blog title and the target audience. I'm not going to enter these manually, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So over here I'm just going to simply map the details from my Google Sheets only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm just going to map this blog title. I'm just going to open the response and map the blog title. And same we are going to do with the target audience too. I'm going to simply map it like this. And now further the prompt says write a detailed blog post on title. So once again we're going to map the title right over here. You can see the rest of the prompt. You can see that I've mentioned that strictly avoid usage of special characters. So as you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt, and now we are simply going to click on this save and send test request and see that if our blog is getting generated or not. And as soon as we're going to click on this save and send test request button right over here, yes, you can see that we have successfully generated the blog. You can see that this is the message content. So I'm just going to expand it. You can see the title and the blog. You can see that we have successfully generated this blog. So yes, we are simply going to add this blog into our Google Docs. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to simply close this OpenAI step, which was my AI agent step, and I'm just going to add another action step. Now I'm just going to add this blog which was generated with the help of my AI agent into my Google Docs. So I'm just going to open a new action, and now for the action application I'm just going to select it as Google Docs. So I'm just going to search for Google Docs, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it. Now for the action event I'm just going to select it as create a blank document and click on this connect. And now it's asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So once again, if you have already connected your Google document account, you can click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and then we are simply going to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And after clicking on this, simply I'm just going to select my email address, and over here you can see that Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow. Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we're going to do so, yes, you can see authorization successful. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Docs account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. Now it is asking me for the document name. So instead of manually enter the document name, I'm just going to map it as the title. So over here, I'm just going to map the title right over here in the document name and click on this save and send test request. And yes, with this we have successfully created a blank document with this name. All right, so now we are going to move on forward, and I'm just going to add the message received, which is the blog received from my AI agent, into this blank document. For that, once again I'm just going to add another action step. Once again, for the action application I'm just going to select it as Google Docs. So I'm just going to search for it right over here once again, and now for the action event I'm just going to select it it as this, which is append a paragraph to a document. You can see it inserts a paragraph to the document. I'm just going to select it and click on this connect. So now recently I've connected my Google document account. So I'm just going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And now it is asking me for the document in which I want to insert the text. So over here, instead of selecting one document, I'm just going to map it. So I'm just going to switch on this mapping button and erase this. And over here, I'm just going to map the document ID. All right. So to map this document ID, I'm just going to open the response of this Google Docs and we're going to search for document ID. So I'm just going to search for document ID right over here. And as you can see that this is the document ID, I'm simply going to map it. And as soon as we're going to map this document ID, with this, we have turned this field to dynamic one. Now it is asking me to insert the text. So over here, I'm just going to map content which we received from our AI agent. So I'm just going to open this tab, and as you can see that this is the content which we received from our AI agent. So I'm simply going to map this. So as you can see that we have simply mapped this content received from our AI agent, and now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And yes, you can see that with this we have successfully received a positive response, that we have successfully added the details into our Google Docs. So I'm just going to open my Google Docs, and over here you can see that we have successfully created a new document. You can see with the same name, and also you can see that the content is exactly the same which we received right over here in our message content. I'm just going to show you. You can see that it is exactly the same which we have added right over here into our Google Docs. So yes, with this we have successfully generated the blog post using AI agent and added into our Google Docs. But now further what I want is I also want to add the generated blog link right over here into my Google Sheets so that I can organize it more properly. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to add another action step right over here to do the same. And now for the action application, I'm just going to select it as Google Drive, because first I'm just going to give the permission to anyone to view this document, and then only I can add that same document into my spreadsheet. All right. So now for my action event, I'm just going to select it as share a file with anyone and click on this connect. Alright, so now to connect the Google Drive account, I'm just going to click on this add a new connection, sign in with Google. I'm just going to select my Gmail account once again and click on this allow right over here and give Pabbly all the permissions. Yes, you can see authorization successful. With this, we have also connected our Google Drive account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now for the file ID, once again, we're going to map this. So I'm just going to switch on this mapping button and erase this file ID right from here, because we're going to map it from the response of our previous step. Alright, you can see document ID, so we're simply going to map it right over here. And after mapping this document ID, we have also turned this file ID field into a dynamic one. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And yes, you can see that now anyone with the link has the permission to view the document. And this is the web view link. So now I'm just going to add this same web view link right over here into my Google Sheets. So to do this, once again, we are just going to add another action step. Now for the action application, I'm just going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it right over here. For the action event, we are going to select it as update cell value. So I'm just going to search for update cell value right over here. And as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it and click on this connect. And right now I've recently connected my Google Sheets account with my Pabbly Connects workflow. So I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And as soon as we're going to click on this save, it is asking me for the spreadsheet in which I want to update the cell value. So as you can see, the name of my spreadsheet is blog ideas. So I'm just going to select the same right over here. And now for the sheet, you can see there's a single sheet in my spreadsheet. So it is automatically selecting the same. We're going to move on forward. It is asking me for the range. So it is saying enter the range of the sheet that needs to be updated here. So as you can see, the range over here is C4. But over here, I can't enter C4 manually, because every time I'm just going to add a new title and the target audience, I want to update this row too. You can see that the row index will change, but the column will remain same. So over here, I'm just going to enter the column manually, but for the row, I'm just going to map it. From the response of this Google Sheets, you can see row index. So we are simply going to map it right over here, so that this change with every new response received, but the column should remain same, which is static. Over here, you can see the column should remain C, but the row should change like 4, 5, 6 and more. All right. So I've successfully mapped the row index, and now it is asking me for the value. So over here in the value, we're going to map have the web view link which we received from our Google Drive. So I'm just going to search for web view link right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to map it. And now I'm just going to click on the save and send test request button given right over here. And as you can see that we have received a positive response that we have successfully added this web view link into my Google Sheets. So I'm just going to open my Google Sheets right from here, and yes, you can see that we have successfully added the web view link. So I'm just going to open it right from here, and yes, you can see that we have added the same document link to into our Google Sheets. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this workflow, and yes, with this we have successfully generated the blog post using AI agent from Google Sheets and added the details into our Google documents. But now I'll just test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example once again. Once again, I'm just going to enter the title and the target audience, and then we're going to check that if our workflow is running in real time successfully or not. So I'm just going to enter the title first. So as you can see that I'm just going to enter the title, which is this: how automation can simplify your marketing and sales process. And I'm just going to enter the target audience too right over here. So yes, you can see that I've successfully entered the target audience too. So now after adding the blog title and the target audience, we are going to wait for a few seconds till our blog link is added right over here into my Google Sheets. Now what is going to happen is that Google Sheet is going to send the details of target audience and the title to our workflow. AI agent will generate the blog content, further create a Google Doc for the same, and add the link right over here into my spreadsheet. And yes, you can see the link has been added right over here into my spreadsheet automatically. So I'm just going to open this link right from here and check that if we have successfully generated a blog or not. And yes, you can see that with this we have successfully generated the blog and added the blog details into this Google Docs. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And yes, you can see in real time within seconds a new blog was generated and the link was added right over here into my spreadsheet. So yes, now using this automation, you can also generate multiple blogs without any manual efforts. You simply have to add the title and target audience into your Google Sheets, and further your AI agent will generate the blogs. Pabbly Connect will add that blog into your Google Docs and add the generated blog link back into your Google Sheets. So yes, this was it for the video, and now if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.